Parallels between Rupert Sheldrake's concept of morphic fields and Carl Jung's theory of the collective unconscious can be seen through the lens of the principle of correspondence, which suggests that patterns and phenomena at one level of reality correspond to those at another. Sheldrake posits that morphic fields contain a cumulative memory derived from previous similar systems, suggesting that these fields guide development and behavior through a resonant connection that transcends individual experiences. This idea is mirrored in Jung's assertion that the collective unconscious is a part of the psyche which can be negatively distinguished from a personal unconscious by the fact that it does not owe its existence to personal experience and consequently is not a personal acquisition. Jung's archetypes, described as universal, archaic symbols and images that derive from the collective unconscious, align with Sheldrake's patterns within morphic fields, indicating a deeper, underlying correspondence. Both theories suggest a shared, non-local influence that transcends individual boundaries, reflecting the correspondence principle's assertion that, as above, so below. Sheldrake emphasizes that these fields are not limited by physical constraints, stating, "Morphic fields of social groups connect together the members of the group, even when they are not in direct physical contact with each other." Jung's perspective complements this, noting that the collective unconscious contains the whole spiritual heritage of mankind's evolution, born anew in the brain structure of every individual. This suggests that individual consciousness is part of a larger, interconnected system, where the same underlying patterns are reflected in both individual and collective experiences. The reinforcement and perpetuation of these shared influences further illustrate the principle of correspondence. Sheldrake explains, "The morphic fields of social groups influence the behaviors and forms of the individuals within the group, indicating a self-reinforcing loop where patterns guide development and behavior, creating a feedback system." Jung observes that archetypes are like riverbeds, which dry up when the water deserts them, but which it can find again at any time, highlighting the continuous influence of these inherited symbols. This ongoing reinforcement suggests a correspondence between past and present, where the same patterns continue to shape and influence both individual and collective experiences. Disruptions in these influences also align with the principle of correspondence. Sheldrake notes that the absence of morphic fields can lead to a breakdown in stability, stating, "When a morphic field is absent, organisms lose their form and coherence." Jung similarly describes the psychological and cultural disintegration that occurs without archetypal guidance, observing that without the collective unconscious, the individual consciousness would be completely isolated, unable to understand or relate to the larger human experience. This indicates that the absence of these shared patterns disrupts the harmonious correspondence between individual and collective realities. The non-linear nature of these influences further supports the correspondence principle. Sheldrake's assertion that patterns directly influence environmental adaptation, which then influences organism development, parallels Jung's perspective that archetypes directly influence cultural expressions, which in turn impact individual psychological development. Jung explains, "The archetypes are the forms or images of a collective nature, which occur practically all over the earth as constituents of myths and at the same time as autochthonous individual products of unconscious origin." This illustrates the interconnected and complex nature of these influences, where the same underlying patterns manifest across different levels of reality. Finally, the inclusive systems proposed by Sheldrake and Jung highlight the comprehensive nature of correspondence. Sheldrake states, "Morphic fields are a way of understanding the connections between the different levels of organization in nature, suggesting an integrated system of influence that spans various levels of reality." Jung similarly describes the collective unconscious as a reservoir of the experiences of our species, indicating that these shared experiences influence both individual and collective development in an inclusive and reinforcing manner. Considering the parallels between Sheldrake's morphic fields and Jung's collective unconscious through the principle of correspondence leads to a profound realization. Both theories reflect the same underlying patterns in consciousness, demonstrating how shared, non-local influences shape individual and collective experiences. Sheldrake's idea of cumulative memories within morphic fields aligns with Jung's archetypes, both suggesting a deeper, interconnected system that transcends individual experiences. This interconnectedness reveals a correspondence between different levels of reality, where the same patterns manifest across biological, psychological, and cultural dimensions. Disruptions in these fields highlight the critical role of these underlying patterns in maintaining coherence and stability. Ultimately, these theories illustrate the unity and coherence of the cosmos, enriching our understanding of reality as an intricate web of universal connections that shape our shared existence.